4 a.m. in Los Angeles. While the rest of the city sleeps, Mike Davis is awake, performing a ritual of absolute, sterile precision.
Have you ever done a job for $11 million?
No.
Isn't that what you guys call walk-away money?
That's the thing about walk-away money. You gotta be able to walk away with it.
In a world built on digital footprints and biological breadcrumbs, Mike is a ghost. He steps into his car, tracks a target through his phone, and fades into the early morning mist of the 101 freeway. But this is where everything changes. Most people see a thief. Detective Lou Lubznik sees a pattern. Lou is a man living in a world of clutter, a cramped house, a failing marriage, and a bathroom that feels like it's closing in on him. These two men are on opposite sides of the law, yet they are both obsessed with finding order in a city that thrives on chaos. And here's what most people miss about this story. Mike Davis isn't just a criminal, he's a perfectionist with a code that says he never harms the innocent. But as we're about to see, the world doesn't always respect your rules. At first, it seems like just another day at the office for Mike.
Hey, what's the problem?
He follows a courier escort car, lures the driver into a confrontation, and locks him in the trunk with the calm efficiency of a valet. He takes the man's tracker phone and disappears into the traffic. Meanwhile, at a high-end jewelry store, the owner, Sammy Cass, is preparing a very special delivery for two couriers, Ben and Ali. But there's a catch. The diamonds in the briefcase, they're fakes. The real stones, $3 million worth of pure risk, are strapped to Ben's ankle. Sammy hands the rookie, Ali, a Glock, a heavy weight for a man who's never seen this kind of action before. They leave, completely unaware that Mike is already breathing down their necks. Think about that for a second. The tension in that courier car is thick enough to cut. Ben knows the truth. Ali is just trying to stay calm. When they reach the delivery point, Mike strikes. He doesn't just pull a gun, he pulls a psychological lever. He shows Ben a video proving a partner is parked outside Ben's house. He knows Ben's wife's name. He tosses the fake diamonds aside like trash and demands the real ones, telling them he wouldn't die for an insurance company. Ben gives in. He has to. But as Mike prepares to drive away, the rookie, Ali, makes a choice that will ripple through the rest of the film. He fires through the car window. The shot goes wide, but it shatters the glass. Mike stays true to his code and doesn't return fire. He just speeds away. But back at his garage, as he removes his mask, he finds a small cut, a single drop of blood. That's the moment everything starts to fall apart. What's interesting here is that this wasn't random at all. While Mike is cleaning his wounds, we meet Sharon Combs. She's a high-end insurance broker, the kind of person who appraises $6 million art collections for billionaires like Stephen Monroe. Sharon is 53, brilliant, and tired of being passed over for a partnership.
We were just about to talk about your coverage for your wedding.
Are you gonna be long, Daddy?
No, we're totally done here.
She's the person who has to deal with the fallout when Mike strikes. At the crime scene, Detective Lou Lubznik is looking at things differently than his partner, Tillman. Tillman wants to close the case and move on, but Lou noticed something strange. The robber didn't fire back.
Your cousin says you shot at him.
The gun fucking misfired.
He had a gun.
Yeah.
Why didn't he shoot you?
You'll have to ask him.
He starts to see the 101 robber, a lone wolf who hacks emails, cuts camera lines, and never uses violence. Lou's bosses think he's chasing ghosts, but Lou knows that human behavior always leaves patterns.
I told him I didn't want to do that. But this lone wolf obsession of yours, it ain't winning us any friends.
It's the same guy, and I know it.
But then something unexpected happens. Mike's fence, a legendary underworld figure named Money, wants Mike to take a job in Santa Barbara. Mike refuses. It's too dangerous, a front door job where someone could get hurt. But Money doesn't like no. He goes behind Mike's back and recruits Ormond, the son of a former accomplice. Ormond is everything Mike isn't, young, violent, and impulsive. He's a wild card who doesn't care about a code. Now the real challenge begins. You have a methodical thief, an obsessive detective, and a ticking bomb named Ormond, all converging on the same city. And here's what most people miss about this story. Amidst the high-stakes robberies, a literal collision changes the course of Mike's life. A woman named Maya rear-ends his vintage car in traffic. Mike is shy, awkward, even offering her cash to avoid involving insurance. They exchange numbers. It's a rare moment of human connection for a man who has spent his life scrubbing away his own existence. But while Mike is finding a reason to stay, the world is pushing Sharon out. Mark gives the lucrative Monroe wedding account to a new, younger employee, Malene. He orders Sharon to polygraph Sammy Kassem instead, a task she finds humiliating. When Sharon meets Lou for the polygraph, the sparks fly, not just professionally, but intellectually. Lou scoffs at the insurance company's interest in avoiding payments, but Sharon says something that triggers a realization in him. Human behavior always leaves patterns. Back at the station, Lou filters the data. He removes the small robberies, the violent ones, the ones with DNA. What's left is a perfect map of Mike's career along the 101 freeway. He knows the thief is hacking communications. He knows where he'll strike next, but his boss tells him to drop it. Reopening closed cases makes the department look bad. This is the moment everything changes. While the police are looking away, Orman hits Santa Barbara. It's a bloodbath. He smashes counters and terrifies employees, proving he is a monster. Mike sees the news and realizes Money has replaced him with a psychopath. Mike confronts Money, ending their partnership, but Money is already one step ahead. He tells Orman to follow Mike, to let Mike do the hard work of the next heist, and then take the prize from him. Now the real challenge begins. Mike takes Maya to a fancy restaurant, but they both feel out of place. They end up eating burgers at a street vendor, connecting over their shared background of growing up with nothing. For the first time, Mike talks about his past, but Maya is smart. She notices there are no photos in his apartment, no favorite music. He's a man with no history, trying to reach a number, enough money to finally be free. But hidden in this moment is something dangerous. Mike discovers a tracker on his car. He's being hunted. At the same time, the DNA from the first robbery finally hits. Mike's real name is James Davis. Lou tracks down Mike's former foster mother, Anne, and even gets her to call him. Mike hears Lou's voice and hangs up. He knows the police are inches away. Desperate, Mike approaches Sharon at an art event. He doesn't hide. He tells her exactly who he is. "I'm a thief." He offers her a deal. Sharon refuses at first, but then she reaches her breaking point. Mark insults her one last time, calling her old and unwanted at 53. That's when Sharon posts the photo Mike asked for, a picture of the beach.
This is where it all begins to unravel. Sharon reveals the ultimate prize. Stephen Monroe is bringing in $11 million in black market jewels for his wedding to avoid taxes. The shipment is arriving at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. It's walkaway money, but it's risky. Armed guards, a crowded location. But then, Orman attacks Sharon at her home, trying to steal the heist details. Terrified, Sharon goes to Lou. She confesses everything. Now, ask yourself, what would you do here? You're a detective who has finally found the man you've been chasing for years, but you also see a woman who's been crushed by the system. Lou makes a choice. He doesn't arrest Sharon. He lets her hide at his apartment. He goes to the evidence room and takes the fake diamonds from the first robbery. He's no longer just a cop. He's a player in the game. On the day of the delivery, the pieces move with cinematic precision. Mike intercepts the security guard, but he doesn't know that Lou has intercepted the real courier and taken his place. Mike picks up Lou at the airport. They drive together, two rivals inches apart, talking about cars and old movies like Bullet and the Thomas Crown Affair. It's a psychological duel at 60 miles per hour. Mike thinks he's in control, but Lou knows he isn't. They arrive at Monroe's hotel suite. Mike pulls his gun and orders Monroe to open the safe. But when he tells Lou to open the briefcase, Lou pulls out his own weapon. "I'm a police officer," Lou says. The standoff is perfect until Orman bursts in. Orman doesn't care about codes. He shoots Monroe just to show he's serious and turns his gun on Lou. In that split second, Mike Davis breaks his own rule. To save the detective, the thief fires. He kills Orman. Right here, something shifts. Lou looks at the man he's hunted for years and sees the restraint Mike has shown. He sees that Mike just saved his life. "Leave," Lou tells him. He lets Mike escape empty-handed.
Lou uses Monroe's own tax crimes to force him into silence and pins all of the 101 robberies on the dead Orman, clearing Mike's slate. But Lou isn't finished. He swapped the real diamonds for the decoys he took from evidence. Later, he meets Sharon and hands her the real stones, enough for her to finally have the security she was denied by her job. And for Lou, Mike leaves him a gift, the vintage Chevy Camaro he loved so much, a thank you from one ghost to another. The film ends with a sense of empathy in a harsh system. Mike sends Maya a childhood photo, finally ready to be human. What's interesting here is that Crime 101 isn't just about a heist, it's about the cost of order in a world of chaos. Mike lived by a code to survive, but it almost cost him his humanity. Lou lived by the law, but it almost cost him his sense of justice. In the end, they didn't beat the system, they just found a way to survive it with their souls intact. Let that sink in. 3-word recap: systems, empathy, freedom. On the Flick verdict scale, this movie is a must-watch, a masterclass in suspense that proves the most valuable thing you can steal is a second chance. Now ask yourself, if you were Lou, would you have let the ghost walk away?
Thanks for watching. See you in the next recap.